Today I'm going to be building a monolith above my starter base to finally finish this project on the Forever SMP. First, it's time to expand. Look at this base. It looks tiny from down here. It's really wide but not very tall. Let's add some more levels. I'll be continuing with the same theme I have inside, making sure to keep this central chunk empty. 2 more levels should be perfect. For this, I already have a resource list put together. Fortunately, I already have everything which you can see in these shulkers. Now, let's build these additional levels. This base expansion is mainly so that I can finally move all my villagers out of the remains of that village. They've been stuck down there for almost a year. This should also allow me to not only keep them safe, but also to have a lot more of them. These extra floors make the base feel a lot bigger. So this level here will be where all my villagers end up. I have these slots in the walls which will act as my trading hall. I should have space for a few hundred of them. This here will be where the villagers appear from the breeder. The goal is to have them put in minecarts, then send them where I need them. For this to be completed, I'll need to connect this to the breeder. To do this, I'm simply going to dig a trench, which will act as a water stream pushing the villagers along, then up and into the base, meaning that I shouldn't need to step outside again. This is how the villager collection area is now set up. Let's get some villagers in here. To do this, I'll make a hole in the new connection system, then I'll push my old villagers into it. Then the water will take them up and into the base. Now I need to do this with the remaining villagers. With these villagers inside the base, I'll build a dirt path, then I'll add a rail line. Then as soon as I place a minecart, the villager will get into it. With that done, I can push him along and into the trading hall. Then all I need to do is add his workstation, and he's ready to go. Now I just need to do that with all the rest of the villagers. With all those villagers in place, I can reactivate the breeder, allowing new villagers to enter the system. After reactivating the breeder, I added lots of new villagers and did some trading to give me 27 diamond pickaxes. I also made a full shulker of enchanted diamond pickaxes while I was at it. These will be my work picks going forward. The only issue is that I'm quickly burning through my emerald supply. Up until now, I've got my emeralds from this underground trading hall of fishermen. Back here, I have a string farm. After the string is created, it's sent through a shulker loader and is stored in this chest. What I'd like to do is build an improved version of this in the base. This area here should work for this. I already have all the materials, so let's build it. The plan for this area is simple. I have a large string farm which will feed into a water stream that goes along the middle of the trading hall, allowing me to fill my inventory and trade with the villagers much faster than normal, especially if I use the item scroller mod. Now I just need to fill this place with villagers. So I've went ahead and set up a rail line like this. All I need to do is get a villager along the track and into the trading hall. Then I add a workstation, add some other blocks, and he's logged in. Then I do this another 100 times, giving me this full trading hall. Then all I need to do is clean up my temporary blocks and now I can start trading. To do this, I activate this lever, then wait for the string to start coming through. When there's a lot of string moving through the system, that means it's time to go. At this point, I'd say the underground section of my base is complete. Since starting on this server, I wanted to learn to build better. To start on that path, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to build a monolith. With that in mind, I have a massive collection of materials in these shulkers. I'll be building this thing right on top of my base, so let's begin. So to start things off, I should probably mention that this build may be replaced at some point. That's the benefit of playing on a forever server. If at some point in the future I feel that I've improved as a builder, I may replace this with something better. I also want to use this project to start improving my world building skills. You might also think of this as lore. So story wise, here's what this is. My starter base is a science lab built by a super advanced civilization of humans. The monolith I'm currently building was also made by them. You see, here's the thing. These guys aren't the only humans around. In the future in this area, I'll be building a lot of medieval style builds. So with that, this area will have 2 civilizations. One being the advanced humans, and others being more of a primitive medieval level of technological advancement. Some of them will think of this monolith as a godlike figure, others not so much. With this being my first try at improving my building skills, I'd welcome any suggestions you have in the comments. Like I said earlier, I may rebuild this at some point, so I'm open to anything you have to suggest. I should also mention that this is only the first part of this surface build. This will take years to finish, but in the end, everything within a few thousand blocks of here will be entirely custom made. This thing is huge. One of the tallest builds in the server so far. I wanted it to have this larger than life feel to it. I think it works well. I went with a grayscale colour palette as that seemed the most appropriate. I do wish that I added some vines and greenery to it though. With it being one colour tone, it can be hard to see the depth and shape of this build, so in spots I've added some deep slate to help show the depth. It helps a lot. To access my starter base now, I need to go down these stairs and along here into this room. You can see that I kept the same structure as the base below, but I've changed the blocks used. Story wise, I'd like to have redstone puzzles in each of the walls. Once all of them are solved, a door opens leading you down below. If we then go down this elevator, we'll encounter a door giving us access to the base. While I was working away in this project, Christmas came and went. Another member of the server, Josh, provided everyone with gifts. Thanks a lot, buddy. I used the netherite in this gift along with a piece I've held on to for a while to upgrade my pick and sword. While I'm doing this, I might as well upgrade every other diamond tool I have. For this, I'll be using the lava diving method of gathering ancient debris. After doing this for a few hours, I finally had full netherite gear after playing on this server for almost a year. You know what? I want to build a mountain. I have this massive list of materials since I designed this ahead of time. First, let's focus on the snow. For this, I'm going to build this farm by Sam that makes 72,000 snowballs per hour. This will be a temporary farm, so I'll build it at the bottom of the starter base. This farm is fairly straightforward. The player mines the snow layers beneath the snow golems, the items are then collected and sent to crafters to make snow blocks. Then they are sent and stored in shulkers. I went ahead and tested this farm for a bit and ended up with 3 shulkers of snow blocks. I'll need a lot more. While I was AFK, another member of the server donated 100 shulkers of snow blocks for this project. I've got them stored up here for now. Thanks Splash. Next, I'll need grey concrete. To get this, all I need to do is reconfigure my concrete duper, then let it run for a few hours giving me all these items. Next, I need 5 shulkers of stone, which I mined earlier using my stone farm. Now I need dozens of shulkers of dirt and grass blocks, which involve me digging for a few days. Finally, I need lots of basalt. I've selected this farm by Big Booty 17 that makes 86,000 basalt per hour. Let's build it. I have the materials gathered, so let's pick them up, pop into the nether, and I think I'll build this next to my portal. It took me no time at all to put this farm together. I probably spent the most time getting the hopper minecarts in the correct positions. If you need basalt in massive amounts, I'd highly recommend this farm. The best bit about it is I can stand AFK and the basalt is generated for me automatically. This is a massive improvement over the manual versions of these farms. With that farm finished, I ran it for a few hours, meaning that I have all the resources for this build. I'll be building this over here behind the creeper farm. This mountain will make a nice backdrop for the base. Since this will be the biggest build in the server so far, I've made a temporary storage out here to save me time building this mountain. So, with all that resource gathering complete, let's finally start building this insane mountain. So, at this point you're probably wondering, where did this mountain come from? Well, here's the thing. Originally, this was meant to be done in a different episode, but as I was working in this video, I realised that I needed another project to make the start area feel like it was being worked on. Also makes this project feel a lot more impressive. So, I figured I'd take this opportunity to explain the goal of this project. As you may know, my starter project is to have a massive custom landscape several thousand blocks across. The starter base and monolith will be in the middle. This mountain will work great as a backdrop, but it's only the first mountain of many. Imagine this mountain being surrounded by a crater lake, with another range of mountains around it. From a geological perspective, this is a caldera. Think of Crater Lake National Park. That's the look I'm going for. For now, I'm focusing on a central mountain. To build this entire mountain, I'll need to place 607,000 blocks, which makes this my largest mountain project to date. This time-lapse footage you're currently watching is actually 38 hours long. That's with all the inventory refilling cut out. Due to the size of this build, I've had to use a couple of mods to extend the render distance. In previous episodes and this one, you probably noticed my use of Distant Horizons. It works great, but for a project like this it wasn't quite enough, so I also made use of the mod called Bobby. Even with both of those, the time-lapse footage isn't perfect, so when I build my next set of mountains, I'll alter my approach. Another thing I should mention is that I designed this using World Painter. I spent half an hour sculpting the mountain, texturing it, then hollowing it out, so that I could get a clean schematic. I'll be altering my process for this in the future as I included a lot of unnecessary blocks. I probably could have shaved 25% off of the 600,000 blocks used in this build. And now, finally, after 38 hours of build time, this mountain is finished. What can I say? This thing is huge. I know it's unfinished, but I still plan to add a lot more to it. But for now, I'm happy with it. The only issue I have with it currently is that I didn't light up anything beneath it. This could be a problem. So, I went ahead and lit up the whole thing, and I collected all the spruce logs down there. I also went ahead and removed my old gunpowder farm as I never use it nowadays, and I won't lie, it looked ugly and was in the way, so it was time to go. Anyways, with all of that done, I'm super happy with my progress today. Let me know what you think in the comments.